Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be celebrating 1 year of ownership of this wonderful Ford Fiesta. Let's try that again. And today we're going to be celebrating 1 year of ownership of this wonderful Fiesta. Right, so for those of you that are new to the channel, my name's Dan and this is my Fiesta ST150 right here. Now as you can see, it's looking sort of half decent. Could do with a clean, to be honest with you, but I haven't got the time. It's freezing cold. Obviously it looks like a good day today, but I just can't be bothered to clean it. What I'll do is I'll link a video just up here for you so you can look, and that will be when I first bought the car and how it looked. So I think it had a different wheel at the back there and the paintwork was looking pretty horrific. Now in that year of ownership, what I'm going to do is go through with you anything that's sort of gone wrong with the car, anything that I've changed on the car, things to look out for when buying a car. To be fair, this video is going to be pretty short because the car's been pretty good. Right, so I've had the car a year now, like I've said, and the first thing that sort of went wrong on the car was the wheels. So these wheels were on the car when I bought them, however they'd all been curbed all really badly around the edges and they'd rotted so bad inside that basically air was creeping past these tyres. So the biggest expense I've had so far has been the alloys. The car itself cost me 1,500 quid and the alloys to get repaired was £300 I think it was. So you can see there, they obviously need a bit of a clean up. The tyres are, who knows what they're made, who they're made by. But the wheels are looking a lot fresher now. So yeah, that's been one of the biggest expenses I've had to do, because I literally was driving, this one would lose air and then this one would lose air and then I pump that up and then this one would lose air and so on and so forth, and yeah, you get the kind of point. You can go back through all my old videos and see what I have changed on the car, so I'll link them all below in the description for you. When I bought this car, the license plate here was, I can't remember what it said, but it was like a terrible little customizable license plate. So what I've done is I've changed it over to a 3D gel plate. And apparently these are becoming illegal in September 2021, apparently, who knows, but I'll have to look up on the law on those. And then what I've done also is to tidy up the back end, I've got a new Ford badge here because this has all gone crusty. I've put a boot lock here which I can link to eBay for you, and that's just tidied up the rear end. But the plates are about £30. The front badge and the rear badge cost me around about £50 I think they were, about £25 each or something like that. And then I've also done a video where I've done the gloss black on the front of the car, but I actually did the rear as well. I just didn't bother showing that process because it's all the same. So I think another big expense that I'm going to have coming up is the exhaust, because I've shown in a video that you can probably, I don't know if you can make it out from there, but all around here is all bent, it's all been hammered in for some reason, and it sounds like there's a bit of an exhaust leak somewhere, so I'm going to have to get that changed. And I've looked at companies already, and bearing in mind this car's up, what, 14 or 15 years old, there's a company down the road from me that want £400 to put like a custom exhaust on it, and I think Miltech, which is what I've got on here, Miltech wants still like 300 quid for a bloody exhaust. Anyway, that's coming up in a future video, and that's something that I'm going to get sorted out on the car. But again, that's not something that's really sort of been majorly wrong with the car, it's just something that's going to be needing to be changed. As you can see there as well, my attempt of fitting a nice wiper blade is just not so good, so I'm going to have to get that changed. I think it's just the wiper itself, I think it just, yeah, look, it just slots in and sits up, but where that falls out, this is for a Kia, so I'll look at getting that changed at some point, but obviously that's not a major problem. Right, so thankfully under the engine bay, again, I've not really had too many problems. The only thing I've had to change so far is a new battery, because the old one was basically a Mercedes one that didn't fit. The battery tray was all cut to pieces, and I just basically wanted this sort of bar just to keep the battery in place, so this was lifted up a little bit. So I think that cost me 80 quid from Euros on the, you know, they do like a Euro car parts sale bonanza, like 70% off bloody everything. I got that in that. I've then uprated the cone filter that was basically just wedged onto the throttle body. So I've got a Puma Speed Performance one that goes into the back of the rocker cover up here. And then it's just a Ram air filter, which everyone seems to buy for these cars. So I bought this second hand, and this was around about 50 quid. But again, nothing really wrong with it, just something that I've added to the car. And I think if you buy one of these, that's one of the first things most people do. And what else have we done? So the power steering fluid, when I bought it, I didn't actually check it, but the power steering fluid was a little bit low and goes black. So that's a common problem on these. Where the pipe runs over the engine here, you can see it heats up the power steering fluid, goes in here and basically just goes rubbish. So I've changed that, but that was probably about 20 quid to change that over, and that's something you should really do every year that I've been told on these cars. One of the bad things, I suppose, if you call it bad, was the rocker cover gasket had failed. Again, I'll link up in the video up there for you, but that failed. Again, that cost me probably about £30 to replace, and probably a couple of hours work of just sort of taking all these bits and pieces off. So again, something that you can do, something to look out for, I guess. But I only realised because I pulled out one of the spark plug leads, and yeah, oil came out. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Again, not really a major problem. Well, it's not really a problem at all, but all of these were really beaten up, and obviously I've got a new plate here and I've got a new Ford badge here, which I explained a minute ago. But yeah, I painted up all these plastics, so these were just looking rubbish and tired and old, and I sort of just rattle canned these myself. You probably get a better job done if you took them to a body shop, but obviously you can't really make it out that well because it's not that clean. But once I've cleaned it, that does look a lot better. And I did actually clean the engine bay when I first bought it, but again, obviously it looks alright on camera, but that's starting to get a bit crusty again, and obviously we're in the winter now, so I don't really sort of care too much about the engine bay, but I'll probably do a video on that in the spring. Right, so if you're new to the channel, if you can just do me a quick favour, down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification as well, because I've actually got a bet with my wife that this year I don't reach 10,000 subscribers. So she thinks that I won't hit 10,000 subscribers. I'm currently on 787, I think, and I reckon if everyone who watches these videos just hits the subscribe button for me, hits the bell notification, we can easily get this channel to 10,000. What do you reckon? And then I can prove my wife wrong. Right, so onto the interior of this car, and not really major things that I've done. So all of the plastic trims, they were all rubbish and sort of marked up, so I've got them changed. They don't look too bad, but the ones I had before that were like horrific. I've also upgraded these seats in some of my videos, so these ST seats are fully heated. That shouldn't be there, but whatever. These are fully heated, but actually this one doesn't heat up now and this one doesn't heat up now, so that's great. That's going to be another video of me fixing them. And also got the interior at the back done as well. Sure, I think as well, just to some of you that have watched my videos, I think this has now fixed itself. Don't ask me how. I've not actually done anything apart from take the glass off, give it a few whacks with a hammer and sort of messed around with it, and it seems to be working all right now. But obviously time will tell, because I've not really been driving it for the last couple of months with the lockdown, etc. So that, hopefully, fingers crossed, has fixed itself, but only time will tell. I'll keep you updated on that one. Car mats as well, just quickly, they were 50 quid I think, or something like that. So basically the ones I had in here were non-existent, and obviously if you have the mats in there, it does make the car look a lot fresher. I know there's lots of other mats out there that you can get, but I thought, do you know what, I'll stick with the Ford Fiesta ones. And also I changed the carpet in here as well, because it smelled of dog's piss. So yeah, the whole interior has pretty much been changed, so that is quite a big expense, but obviously not something that you're really going to need to do yourself if you ever buy one of these. I just done it because obviously it gave me a bit more content and it smelled of dog wee. Right, so there's the rundown of my car and my 1 year ownership with it. To be honest, touch wood, it's not really giving me any grief. Bearing in mind, obviously I haven't really driven it loads because of the lockdown, but when I have driven it, it's been perfectly fine. It handles really well. I've changed all the what else did I do? Yeah, so when I bought the car, I said this in my last video, when I bought the car, the brakes on it were okay. However, just for peace of mind, with me driving it and my wife driving it, and we obviously put our little boy in it as well every now and again, I just wanted to make sure that the brakes were all good, so I changed them all around. But I mean, that cost me £100 from Euro Car Parts. I also changed some suspension parts. I changed the drop links and the tie rods. They were pretty battered, to be honest. Again, they're not really a necessity to change, but when they go as bad as they did on this one, then I made sure I just got them changed on the car just for peace of mind. Again, they cost me probably around about £30 or £40 from one of the Euro Car Parts Bonanza special sales. Yeah, so I've got lucky with this car. So the money that I've spent out on the car basically is for me and to make the car look a little bit nicer, where I've polished the headlights, I've changed the alloys, or I've had the alloys painted because they were leaking air. But obviously they look a lot nicer. I've put the electric mirrors on. I did that as well over here. I changed all the electric mirrors over, so now they're power fold and they come in. So I kind of treated the car and treated myself to nice bits and pieces. So if you do buy one of these cars, I have actually done a video on things to actually look out for. Annoyingly, the light's better on this side. Anyway, a few people are asking me about what's happening with this Focus, and for the minute, nothing. It's still sawn, it's off the road. I really can't be bothered to do anything to it, and I need to save up quite a bit of money to actually get all of the rot done that's down the side, but I'm going to sort of save that to the spring, save up a bit of money where I can, and then we'll get started on that. So I've said this probably 100 times now in every single video, but I'm going to put the interior back in this car, but it's actually currently sitting up there in the loft, and I need to bring it down, and I can't be bothered, I'm too lazy, and I've had loads of work to do on the Fiesta. So that is coming up in a future video, and I'm going to put the interior back in so it looks a bit more standard inside, and obviously I can get the family driven around. You can probably see just down there as well, I've actually bought some new arches randomly for the Fiesta, so these ones are a little bit cracked and broken, but I've just thought to myself, why not treat it to, I say a new set, it's a new old set that are proper like rubbish, but they can do a clean up and they'll look pretty good. in there as well, somewhere behind there. I don't know where it is, but I've got a new rear brake light because that one's basically got fungus growing inside of it. So again, it's just like not something that I need to change because the brake light works. However, I want it to look as nice as possible, so I've treated myself to a new used one. And what else have I got in there? Oh yeah, the cabin filter. Again, I've not got around to changing that yet. Right, so I might as well end the video here so you can actually see my face, because when I faced that way you couldn't see anything because the sun's coming down, etc, etc. Anyway, I hope you're all keeping well. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you are new to the channel, come on, let's do it. Let's get myself up to 10,000 subscribers before Christmas. If I can do it by the end of the year, then I can prove my wife wrong, and then just makes me a winner, doesn't it, basically? So yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, hit subscribe. I'll put a little thing up here for you, and if you want to watch my latest video, you can probably watch it around about here. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.